Welcome back to another episode. Okay, little tech difficulty. Welcome back to another episode of Cseking In. I am Nikki Check, your host, and I am, as always, thrilled to have in studio with me today Anita Parker. Thank you very much for joining us, Anita.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here with you. I love sharing time and space with you.
Yay, thank you, thank you. So, Anita, I do a little bit of Sherlock Holmesing before an interview, especially when I don't super know the guest.
Okay.
So you and I have just recently crossed each other's paths at the Chic retreat. Was my first experience into this Anita Parker person. Apparently we've hung out in the community, or not hung out. We've been in the same community for years and years and years, and our paths haven't crossed. So, find that interesting. Mm-hmm. So I have such limited intel on you. So that means we get to figure it out.
Let's dive deep.
On air.
Okay.
Yeah. So please do help me and the viewers know a little bit about you.
Okay. Well, I'm married.
That's lovely.
I have 4 fabulous children.
4?
Yes.
Okay.
17, 19, 24, and 27.
Yep.
And I was a dental hygienist for 26 years.
Get out of town. Okay, dental hygienist.
She's writing this down. So, yeah, my career was in the dental hygiene. Now, fun fact is before I went into dentistry, I had a full scholarship as a triple threat at a performing arts school in Toronto. So, acting, singing, dancing, full ride. Yeah, and I still miss that. I miss the singing more than anything. So, that creative piece. I always thought I'd be on a lot of stages.
Okay.
Performing, mostly singing, to be honest. I love dancing, but I always thought that dream was always there. And I needed certainty, so I dove into dental hygiene. I just didn't, obviously I knew I was talented enough to get a full scholarship ride, but it's a big sea out there. And at that time, being so young, not trusting that I had what it took to be a star that could afford and pay their bills, because there's a lot of amazing artists out there that are not. So I dove into dentistry and I absolutely loved it. And in my 30s, after having my kids, she's taking notes. I was craving and yearning to be like, I want to be of service somehow. Mm-hmm. I'm behind this mask in this...
Literally. Yeah.
In these scrubs, being of service to people, helping them with their oral health, which is linked to their systemic health. And there was this burning inside of me. And it happened to be probably around 2010. So I've been here since 2006.
Okay.
I moved here from Toronto, and it was just a conversation in our household that it wasn't the time to kind of go chase the potential dream, whatever it might be on stage to help people. Because at that point, I shifted from, I don't know if I want to sing still, but I definitely want to help humans. I was hungry for it.
Oh my gosh, there's so much there. So now I'll back up. That explains your beautiful smile. I'm like, oh, Anita's got such a beautiful smile. Well, of course she does. She was in dentistry. Of course she has a beautiful smile. Okay, tick that box. Performing. So I find this, so match this with me.
Okay.
I felt, and people that have heard me speak often hear me talk about this regret. I regret that I didn't pursue my passion to be a teacher. I love to teach. I love to help people learn things and figure things out. Well, 20 years of carrying around this, oh my God, I wasn't a teacher. And I come into this aha moment where I'm like, oh my God, I teach people how to business. I am a teacher, just in a different way. Yes. So now I want to apply that in performing and or serving in the context of you full ride, being able to be on stage, sing, dance, do your thing. Are you performing today in a different context or different way?
100%.
And I think you are.
Yeah, I totally am. And I used to use that same verbiage. I regret not doing that scholarship. I mean, I stopped using that verbiage probably almost a couple decades now ago.
Yep.
And it became, I will be shown in the right timing what I meant to do, because it's far more. I literally had a patient say to me, you are meant for so much more. You need to get out of that mask. Not that you're not amazing at doing this. It's just you have a purpose and it's burning inside of you. And so, yes, what I do now through my speaking, my coaching, the philanthropy, I have turned the passion of performance into purpose. And that is what I'm up to. I love that you're taking notes.
Performance into purpose. That's good. That's really good. Okay. So help me piece. I've heard you say restaurant. Where is this? I've heard you say Fort Mac. Where does Fort Mac
fit into this?
Yes.
So 2017, I met my husband, and I had met him back in 2012. I met him actually and his former spouse and his children, and they were already actually divorced at the time. And I loved how they co-parented together and were like just champions for their family.
Yep.
And at that time, I was married to my kid's dad, and we were definitely going through a lot of the emotions and trying to salvage a marriage. And obviously we did not, but we worked really hard at trying to make that happen. And I felt like I was being shown what was going to happen 5 years down the road. I had no clue. I just really respected what they had created.
Yep. So
when I re-met him in 2017, I'm like, I think I know you. And he's like, yes, that's me. You've got a great memory. And I'm like, I really respect the relationship that you have with your kid's mother. It was really cool to watch that. And he said, yes, we still have that relationship, actually, and it's amazing. So he is in the restaurant industry, has been in the restaurant industry for 30 years.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. Being patient, waiting for me. And so I also grew up somewhat in the restaurant industry because my father's a chef.
Okay.
And so I just, listening to hear what he was still up to. He had lost his restaurant in the fires in 2016. And so when I met him in 2017, he was going through all the insurance and things. We started dating. I'm going to tell you honestly, I thought Fort McMurray was a big oil patch. I had patients flying in and out. When I went to Fort McMurray, and I get so passionate about this because that community is exceptional in so many ways. When I went there in November 2017, my eyes were like, whoa.
Really?
I'm like, this community, the business community, cares so deeply for one another and how they band together. And what turned into me being, oh yeah, that's great. You have a restaurant, like awesome, became watching what he had done in that community for the last 20 years. He sat on a lot of boards, a lot of give back. And what ended up happening is I shift into, he's like, hey, you want to help me with a couple things? So like, absolutely, which turned into me doing events, which turned into, oh my gosh, this restaurant's a platform for us to give back. It was like full on, what can we do for our community to help them? And that's for me was the turning point of like, I need to get out of my career. One, because it was incredibly taxing on my body. And two, I felt like I was seeing, yes, the passion, but the purpose, like my eyes were wide open and I was hungry to help out more.
So you're in Kelowna.
Yes.
He's in Fort McMurray. When are the fires in Fort McMurray?
The fires were 2016. I met him in 2017.
Okay.
So he lives here and was going back and forth.
Okay.
He had moved out of Fort McMurray, and he was doing the fly in, fly out because, I mean, look at...
You can.
Yeah, you can. And this is a beautiful place to be. And so was that. And he wanted out of the Northern Alberta lifestyle.
It's a beautiful lifestyle, but it's a very underserviced area.
Yes.
It's a different lifestyle.
It is. There's pros and cons.
Lots of life in the north.
Yes.
Okay, so Fort McMurray, you start Wine, Women, and Wellness, or you sign on to be...
Okay, so here's what happened.
Okay.
Yes. 2022, I was at an event here in Kelowna, the Manifest Tour put on by Wine, Women, Wellbeing.
There.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, I had already stepped out of my dental hygiene career, and I had started an online business, which really gave me so much tools to be an entrepreneur on my own.
Okay.
My husband was an amazing mentor in the entrepreneurial world, and I wanted to learn how to do it also on my own, still with him being my champion and my cheerleader. And I wanted to see if I had what it took to be a leader. So I started that online business. It catapulted. In 2022, someone told me to go to Manifest. I needed to be there. It's like-minded women.
Yep.
And what happened that night was one lady in particular was speaking, and I could relate to her story, Jess Tatu. And I was bawling my eyes out. And I looked at my business partner that I had taken with me to this event, and I'm like, I'm being shown I need to bring this. Because that night I found out that there was a branch in Kelowna. I had never heard of Wine, Women, Wellbeing. And I'm like, well, I can't do it in my own backyard. I do lots of business up in Fort McMurray. I'm taking it to Fort Mac. These women deserve this. Because I watched all these women during, our unprecedented time in the world build their own businesses out of their garages, their kitchens.
Interesting.
And I'm like, I'm bringing this to Fort Mac. So I literally slid into the DMs of the CEO founder and said, hey, I was profoundly moved. I think the women in Fort Mac deserve this. There's a need. And she messaged me back, started following me on Instagram. It was like, you are absolutely right. I have 3 other women looking to bring it to Fort McMurray. And I said, here's why I'm your best choice.
Okay.
And so I run the events inside my restaurant. So it worked out really, really well. And I am such a champion for other humans. And I wanted to create that space to really showcase them and what they are up to in the community.
And you do that here. You have the opportunity to do that here as well.
Yes. So last June, I got a phone call, actually an email. I had been nominated for 4 different chamber awards in Fort McMurray, 1 for the restaurant, 3 for Wine, Women, Wellbeing. And at that moment, I knew I was filling up the events every month in Fort Mac. But at that moment, it was like, I never signed up to do this to get chamber awards. I signed up because I wanted to create impact with other exceptional humans. And it also showed me, hey, we see you, we hear you. And that was huge because I didn't think my voice really mattered in certain ways.
Sure.
And so I remember hiking Knox Mountain here going, June of last year, saying to my dear friend, what I'm doing in Fort Mac, all the tens of thousands of dollars that we've raised to help go back into that community, I want to do it in my backyard. And I got the call the following week. Are you interested in helping?
Interesting.
Taking on the Kelowna branch.
Okay.
Yes.
So the Wine, Women, and Wellbeing will host, is there set numbers of events you have to host
Great
each
question.
year?
There isn't a set number.
Okay.
There's 30 branches coast to coast. We have 4 new branches coming on board. And basically, it's kind of nice because we get free reign. Obviously, it would be wonderful if everyone could host events every month. And the thing is that people are traveling during the summer. December, people are full on into the holiday mode.
You bet.
So we do have that freedom, which is really beautiful, to do it bi-monthly, to take the summer and December off. There's no, hey, you must do this. It's not in a contract that we have to do that. So it just gives us the autonomy to host the events when we feel fit for
And
us.
that is listening to the community, trying to see if there's a gap or a need and filling it with something.
Yes.
Okay. When did coaching or business coaching or personal coaching come in?
Yes. So business and life coaching came in 2021. So remember I told you about that online business that I started? Well, within 10 months, I replaced my income as a hygienist.
What?
I'm serious.
Okay.
And what happened was I grew very quickly, and I was responsible for other human beings. And I don't take that lightly. I was showing them how to duplicate the business, how to create sustainability, how to bring others to also duplicate the business, grow it, and be of service to the clients with products as well. And I was like, okay, these people are counting on me. They are looking to me for answers. I need to deep dive a little bit deeper so I can be the leader that they need me to be for them, because this wasn't just business. This, as you know, overflows into personal life, having a business. And so that's when I started working with Pam Rader, who's local here. She has Shift Labs. She has been my mentor for many a years. And I literally have taken every single course Shift Labs has, minus the relationship one, which I want to take that. You don't have to take it with your partner per se. You can take it with a sister, a friend. It's the only one, and I keep saying, Pam, I want to be able to say I've taken all your courses, but all the leadership courses, all of the the coaching that I've done, the certification, and this is like not the fluffy stuff. This is like a lot of her work is based on Tony Robbins. There's some landmark in there. There's Bob Proctor in there. And it has truly shaped me into the human I am today. When people interview me for different things, they're always like, so what was the things to help you to get to where you are with all the businesses that you've opened? And I'm like, 3 things. Pam Rader, my husband, I should have put him first. Sorry, sweetheart, if you're watching this. And that online business, that multi-level network marketing business, really.
I was going to ask what it was. Okay.
Do you want to know which one it was? It was Arbonne. So Arbonne's been around for almost 50 years, and they're a B Corp. They're amazing. And the personal development that they give their humans is unbelievable. Those 3 things.
Okay, so let me re-unpack this. We're a hygienist. We're very stable in our career and we make good income. We peek over the fence and we see that there's something online business. Where does this land as it pertains to COVID, pre or post or during?
So I was finishing up. So 2019, I was finishing up my degree because I thought I was going to help teach, because I wanted to teach too, actually.
Interesting.
And so a company was looking at me to go and help all the hygiene departments across the country. It was a dental corporation. And so they were looking at me. They're like, you need your degree though. So I went back to school in the fall of 2019 to finish my degree. 2020, March came. Yeah. I was almost finished my degree. And April of 2020, I started doing the online business. Okay. So it was right at the beginning.
So you travel through this online business, you replace your income. It allows you to step away from your, I'm going to call it regular job.
I love it.
And gains freedom, however that's defined. And then you have success in that. And then that's the bridge, or that's the step over in the pursuit of the coaching. Yes, certification?
It was.
Those
2, exactly.
The one springboards to the other?
Yes. You got it.
And you do all this. So now I really want to back this up. Not everybody has the ability to zig and zag because you have bill payments, you have mortgages, you have soccer dues, you have. Yes. There's caring for aging parents. The list goes on and on and on. So did you have to secure something to end something and move to something else, or did you just allow it to sort of evolve as it was happening?
You know, I've always loved certainty, and I think I was so tired of living in it because I had a lot of uncertainty as a child. And so I replaced it quickly with certainty for a long time. And at that point, I was 45, and I was tired of just being in the same spot. So I jumped off the cliff. I kept just jumping off the cliff. So those things that you were saying, bill payments, kids, et cetera, food on the table, like there was big risks, and there was
huge,
big, I don't know that the word consequence would be the right word, but there was a lot of give and take of like, okay, so how am I going to figure out doing this? And I always believe that, and I've lived my life like this for a long time, the money is always there. You have to find it. My brothers always say, you always find the money. So no, I didn't have that little beautiful little nest to go and, get some yolk out of. Absolutely not. And I think a lot of people don't know that about me. So they think there's like this money tree that I just go pick stuff off of. And I do have a money tree, but I have to always fertilize it. We all have it. Let's be honest. We just have to decide if we want to water and fertilize it. And so that's what I chose to do. And it was scary at times. Like there were things to make things happen that had to be done. And it taught me a lot of grit. So it wasn't easy. It was.
But Anita, anything worth having isn't easy. So that's what I'm trying to understand. So if you take, I'm going to say the risk, looking up the road that you have these commitments, whatever they are. They can be financial, they can be family, they can be community, they can be best friend, whatever they are. You have these commitments. You seem to be the person that is driven by ensuring that you meet those commitments and those obligations. And so doing anything that it takes to do those seems to be sort of the song that you sing, or the...
I do. I decide. The song I sing is I decide.
Yeah.
And when I'm aligned with something and I believe in something, I will go to the ends of the earth to make sure it happens with integrity, with authenticity, but with a lot of sweat, tears.
Oh, yeah.
And it's part of growth. And I'm okay with, I am okay with it. And there's more coming in this life. And I know that. And that's because the evolution keeps happening. The growth keeps happening. I don't want to be, not to say I don't want to have financial freedom and ease. Of course I do. Tell me a person that doesn't. What I know is that I want to keep evolving as a human being, because without that, I can't do the work that I want to do, which is to be of service and bring those around me to help create that ripple effect far beyond our community, right into the world.
Interesting.
And I know that is happening. It's on its way. I am literally laying all the Lego pieces and building.
So you are both here.
We are both here.
You are both here.
Yes.
But still tied to Fort McMurray.
We are still tied to Fort McMurray. I'm actually vetting someone right now to take over the branch in Fort McMurray. It's just my role has evolved immensely in Wine Women Wellbeing. We're actually also evolving as a brand, so there's going to be some amazing.
Okay.
Yes, we stay tuned. We are going through an evolution, which is incredible. And so I can't wait to share that, because at the end of the day, I'm here to empower humans. And fun fact, it's not because I just don't care to drink, to be honest. It's just the stage in my life. I do like wine. It doesn't like me anymore. So we are tweaking some things in what we're evolving to, because we're actually here to empower human beings. I am 100% here to empower human beings. And this has just been a vehicle that I've been driving to start laying all the groundwork. And so now I'm just switching into another model of a car.
So best is yet to come.
Best is yet to come.
Anita, thank you so much for spending time with us here today.
A pleasure.
And it's been my privilege getting to know you, and I'm super excited to see what you're going to be doing in community. And I'm pretty certain, I have a feeling that it's going to be a lot of service and giving to and shining a spotlight on and raising up anything that you see needing some attention or love or help.
100%. Thank you so much for having me. It means the world to just share this time with you and show people what is available for them as well.
I love it. Thank you, Anita.
Thanks.